Have you ever experienced chipping, puddling, pulling, or shrinking when applying a gel paint, a gel polish, or a gel top coat over an acrylic or gel nail? Yeah, it kind of sucks. We're gonna show you how to prevent that from happening right now on Nail School. All right, bro. Gel top coats, gel polishes, all that action on top of enhancements, the pulling, the shrinkage. Tell us a solution right now.
So I am definitely guilty of buffing the surface of my acrylics and hard gels too smooth. And I'm always thinking, okay, if I create a really smooth surface, then the application is gonna go on like butter. When you create too smooth of a surface, what ends up happening is the product starts to pull, starts to shrink, starts to puddle. It's frustrating because when you're doing 5 fingers at a time, by the time you're done doing the last finger, everything has moved. So I'm gonna show you guys what to do so it eliminates that problem. I'm gonna show you what not to do first so you can see the problems associated with it. And then I'm gonna show you the solution so that you guys have incredible results all the time. So I wanna show you guys, we have a 150 grit zebra file and we have a sponge buffer. So normally after I'm done file finishing, what I've done in the past is I've used this or for some of you guys out there using basically like blocks, sanding blocks to finish the nail. When you take this, right, and you go over the surface, right, to basically smooth out any imperfections, yeah, it's gonna take out certain imperfections, but the problem is that it creates a really smooth surface. So like if I wipe off basically all that dust with swipe, the surface is like, it's like glass. Okay, even though it has a few scratches on from the buffer, basically there's no texture to grip. There's not going to be any type of surface to grip the product. It's going to slip. And all of you know that I take Protein Bond and I always put Protein Bond on the surface, and what this does is it acts like a double-sided sticky tape. So it's going to dry tacky, and then it's also going to basically make anything you put on, whether it's a gel paint, gel polish, or a top coat, stick really well so it doesn't chip. But the problem is this, because the surface is so smooth, watch what happens when I apply Mission Control gel paint over the top. So I've buffed it, I've protein bonded the surface, and now I'm going to take white paint, right? I'm going to take Fizz, which is the white gel paint, and I'm going to put a nice thin coat over the surface. So because it's been buffed, when I apply over the surface, all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and just put a really thin coat. All right, you can already see the product pulling away. Look at that. You can see the little microscopic bubbles. And again, I haven't, no matter what I do, I can sit here and work it out. Let me just try to get this off the edge. I come back and start pulling through the product. And the problem is that when you get to the last nail, you can start to see it happen again. You can start to see it happen again. It starts to pull, shrink, and puddle. Okay? So the very frustrating thing about doing this is that you're never going to have a really clean application. And it happens with top coats, and it happens with, it not only happens with gel paint, but it happens with gel polish, and it happens with top coats. So let me show you how to prevent this from happening. So instead of using a sponge or a white block, I'm going to save you time. As soon as you file finish the surface with your file, and what I like to do is I will turn the hand this way, and I will basically use my file, right, just to create these really nice marks in one direction. Everything is done, but that way I could keep it nice and even, as you can see with the tip. And what it's going to do is create this really beautiful textured surface, right? So that the gel paint, the gel polish, or the top coat is going to stick extremely well. You need one coat on top of acrylic or a hard gel. Let's go ahead and take fizz again. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a really nice coat. I just want to show you, right? Let me just go ahead and get some of this excess off my brush. But the best part about this is I could sit here and take my time and just kind of work it through, and you're going to notice that I get zero puddling, nothing. Even if I got a little bit of a Furby in there, but that's okay. But take a look. Look at the surface. Nothing is pulling or shrinking. You don't see any pitting at all. It's going to stay nice and clean, nice and tight all the way around. Right? That's the most important thing. All of the detailing around the edges can be done with a small detailer brush, but as long as I hold it in this position, you guys notice the difference. Nothing is pulling, nothing is shrinking, everything is staying nice and even, which is going to set you up for some incredible paint application, color application, top coat application. Any one of them is going to work really, really well. Remember, if you want to set yourself up for great application when it comes to color or your top coats, do not buff the surface. Go from file finishing right to protein bond to color. If it has a little bit of a grip, it's going to stick really well and it's not going to create problems on top of your enhancements.